Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar Online Travel Agencies Part 2. Thank you very much for joining us today. In the actual travel industry scenario where doing business has been reconfigured, some agencies have begun researching the online environment. Sabre, as a technology partner, can provide quality information about general aspects on online travel agencies, how to explore this world, and which are the options from a commercial standpoint. For those of you that were not able to attend part one of this seminar, you can access the recording in the YouTube channel Sabre Webinars. We just shared the link through the chat. And before we continue, I just have to say that I have like a little runny nose and I'm feeling a little cold today. We are going through a very bad cold weather here in Montevideo, so the advantage is that I'm here working from home, so I'm not under any risk, but accept my apologies in advance since you might feel that my voice is kind of weird today. So thank you very much. So Leandro, let's comment about the logistics details for today's session.
Thank you very much, Carolina. Let me tell you that you sound just fine. So I haven't noticed that you were having a cold. I'm glad to hear that you're fine, though. So let's go to the housekeeping rules. The session will last around 60 minutes. The lines have been muted to guarantee a correct development on the session to avoid background noise that might affect the quality of the sound and to make sure our presenter today is not distracted by that. Effective now, the chat window is active. You can send your questions or comments through the chat and we will pass them to our guest speaker. Please make sure that when you do so, select the option All Panelists that will appear in your chat, and any of us, moderators and presenter, will see it. The session is being recorded to be uploaded later to our YouTube channel, and then we will share it to you in the next 24 hours. Within the next 24 to 48 hours, we will send you via email a supporting material set, including the presentation delivered today, the recording, and the link to the customer satisfaction survey. Now let's review the agenda that we will cover today. We will talk about some developer alternatives that Sabre offers. We will review as well the authorized third-party providers, the development on your own, how you can start doing so, and we will talk about the commercial aspects of this online new model.
So
Now,
today,
Caroline. Mhm.
Leandro Gentile and I, Carolina Ricarte, will moderate the session. Many of you already know us. We are responsible for the marketing campaign for Latin America and the Caribbean, based in Montevideo, Uruguay. Our mission today, our job will be to monitor the chat session and make sure to pass your questions to our speaker as well as being attentive to your comments. In any case that any of your questions are not answered, we will try to do it so in the supporting material that we will send afterwards. Now, I would like to welcome our guest speaker for today's session, Ian Molanphy. He is manager for online travel agencies across the region. So welcome, Ian, into today's sessions.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to share my presentation. And basically today, the message is to be or not to be. That's kind of where I'm heading. Um, this is really important at this moment because, a lot of things has been happening recently. And one of those is basically we are shopping more online. So kind of the message here is to be or not to be an online travel agency. The first workshop that I gave was around this concept. And one of the things, and I invite everybody to check out, is this workshop where we start talking a lot about digital marketing and why this is so important. Today, I'm going to be talking about that. moving forward, what are the next steps in order to move your business online. However, there are two things that I have in mind. Most probably, some of you guys already have your travel agency and you have a web page, and now you want to do transactions on that web page. It's basically putting a booking engine. That's kind of where I'm going to focus myself. And some of you guys are gonna say, okay, I'm gonna move X amount of my business online. Maybe I'm gonna put all the corporate online, or maybe I'm just gonna focus on a new market niche, or I'm gonna do something very specifically, but I'm gonna move it online. That's kind of one of the strategies. The other strategy is literally I'm gonna move all my business. Everybody that is here is gonna be focused on the web. We're gonna make the best out of it. And one of my invitation is again, check the teams, make sure that you understand digital marketing. If you do not understand it, bring people that will help you in order to create that task, because it's not about having my webpage online and having my booking engine, which I'm going to be talking today about it. It's more about creating the traffic. How do I make people go to my page? And once they are there, how do I convert those visits into a ticket? If we're talking about airline or we're talking about a hotel, how do I convert that into a booking, a bed booking? Okay, so that's kind of more on the strategic piece of the business. I'm going to focus more on the technical part. What step, how do I continue this journey on becoming more online? That's kind of where I'm going to be talking in the next 35, 40 minutes max. And I have some slides that will help me move this topic around. And you should be seeing at this moment the different alternatives that we have. We have a lot of alternative, but I'm focusing on two of them. One is a customization by a third-party provider, and the other one is your own development. And let me stop, and I'm gonna go deep into each of them, and then I'm gonna tell you the commercial aspect of it, and then I'm gonna show you how to, choose a customize a third-party provider that they participate in a program that Sabre has opened for them globally, and how you should check them. That will be kind of where I'm gonna be talking today. Okay, so if you decide I'm gonna go online, one of my recommendation is check the third-party providers that are working with Sabre. They are partners. We have an account director dedicated for them. We help them improve their product, and they use our web services in order to have an updated product. So that will be my first invitation. In order to do this, some of you guys already have a travel agency with a web page. Other have, sorry, you have an online with a presence, okay? And some of you want to move everything, the travel agency, to an online full presence. One of the things, if you guys have already a web page, but you're not selling, you're missing out great opportunities. If you take into consideration how we're doing marketing today on TV, that's completely offline. Normally, they will show us the product on the TV, and then they will invite us to go to the page. That's kind of the strategy. Go to the page. Your page has become a store, an online store. And the idea is that when you land in that page, you start buying that product. If we think about it 5, 7 years ago, it was more about having a presence in the internet. If you were not in the internet, you didn't exist. So everybody jumped in and created a page. And you had a page about, who we are, how long have we been in the market, what do we offer. And some people wanted to buy your product. They will fill out a form, and that form will be sent. It was just a file. And then you will start producing that product that that person was quoting or wanted to know more about it. Today, the idea is that your page is a store. So once people land in your page, is because they have done their business, they have done their study, they have checked it out, and they know you can provide them what they want, and they're ready to buy. So most of that customer experience and customer journey has been done, and once they land on the page, they want to buy. So if your page do not have a booking engine, you're on the right place to find out how to create the booking engine, how to obtain that booking engine. So one of the things that you normally have if you don't have currently a page is you need a domain, molanfi.com. That will be a domain, and you actually have to pay for it. And then with that domain, you have to open your page with different, there are different providers in the market that will help you host your web page. And we'll have actually a CMS, a content management system. This is a tool inside a web page that will help you manage the content that you have. You'll have pictures, you have promotions, you have videos. All this is being managed by a content management system. The idea is if you are at that stage, you should add a booking engine so people can actually buy from it. That booking engine is that little uh, space that some have that will tell you, you know, the departure day, the arrival day, sorry, the departure day, the arrival day, the returning date, and the itinerary. That's what you will put it there, and that's kind of the booking engine. Your check-in day, your checkout day, the amount of night that you want, and that will be your booking engine because you're gonna get information from different providers, and that information or that inventory with an itinerary and with a fare will come back for the user in order to make the purchase. That's kind of where you are, and that's my invitation to check which third parties could help me put a booking engine in my page if I don't have a booking engine in my page. If I don't have even a page, some of these guys will help you host that web page with a booking engine already established. So that's the first big alternative, and that is my first recommendation if you want to go to this new online market. Basically, I'm going to sell a niche of a market over there, or I'm going to move my whole travel agency to the online world. The other side of this screen, you'll see the concept of own development. Here, you guys become the owners of that API, of that development. You buy, you buy through a contract, you'll buy the Sabre Web Services, okay? So this aspect is really easy because you're gonna contact your account executive and you're gonna ask them for the Sabre Web Services in order for you to develop the flows that are needed. And when I talk about flows, are exactly that. You're putting that booking engine so you can check your check-in day, your checkout day, and get that information. That will be the whole flow. And we have on the Sabre Web Services APIs. Those are the connections used in order for computers to communicate. We have APIs ready to go. So basically, if you have a developer and he wants to create a booking engine, he can use the Sabre Web Services in order to create that booking engine. That's kind of where we are when you have your own development. That means that's yours. That's yours to create the flow. That's yours to have the way you want it to have it. Let's say I'm in a market and I just want to focus at this moment to sell domestic, air domestic. That's everything that I want to move into the web. If I want to do that, I'll need some level of optimization because every time that I do an itinerary, I'm going to give you a good example. Like I live in Colombia and, you know, Panama is very close to us. And I want to go to the northern part of Colombia to Cartagena. I shouldn't go Bogota, Panama, Panama, Cartagena because that's going to be an international flight and then go to Cartagena. It makes sense at an itinerary level, but most probably I just want to do the domestic Bogota, Cartagena, and I don't want new itineraries or international itineraries around this. So I need to have certain level of optimization when I'm doing my development. That's one of the things that you will have to do if you go through your own development, okay? That own development will give you the Sabre Web Services for you to create your own booking flow. However, it will not give you the domain, like molanfi.com. It will not give you the CMS, the content management system, to manage the content of your web page. And it will not give you the hostings, neither the maintenance. What it will give you is that you are the owner of your codes. That's really important. You're going to be the owner of those codes. That's yours to use and to make the modifications as you go further through the whole process of building different services for your web page. So those are the big to picture. If I want to go to an online web page on an online world, I can choose a third-party provider that have a lot of the service ready for me to go, or I can decide to develop by my own. Why? Why? Which one should I choose? That's basically on your strategy, a long-term strategy, a marketing strategy, and your digital strategy that will help you decide what alternatives to choose. Bringing it a little bit down, okay? So I have my page, molanfi.com. Inside my page, I have links to other information like blogs. I have links to videos. I have links to uh, other type of information that you can find on the web. All these are being managed by a tool called a content management system. Every time that way it looks my page, everything is around the content management system that help me manage all that information, all the products that I have over there. However, I want to sell. If I want to sell, I have to have a booking engine. I have to have these little boxes of check in, check out, the amount of adults, and the amount of times that I want to be there. So basically, that's where I'm focusing all this conversation. It's good for you to have your website, but if your website do not have a booking engine, you should have one. You should go ahead and check those third-party providers that will help put a booking engine inside your page. Another tip is that when you're creating your web page and when you're working with your web page, make sure that your web page is enabled for any type of device because most of us will do some of the shopping through the cellular, through their smartphone, but the final purchase of that will be done on a computer. So make sure your web page is so amicable that you can move from a cellular phone to a desktop and finish the process. That's a key today when you're creating web pages. Then if you see below on this slide, I'm just showing you the three basic things that you should have in order to put your business online. First, of course, customers. And customers should know that you are out there. And that's the whole thing about digital marketing. Learn about it because you have to create the traffic for people to go and visit you. Most of you have already customers. So at least you have exactly that customers. And now you have to tell them, you know, do all these piece of the business through our new web page that has a booking engine. A lot of those customers already are so accustomed of buying online that now buying a ticket online will be easy for them. So you have that opportunity that they already know your brand. You have the customer. Just tell them this is where I'm gonna move some part of my business in order for you to, take advantage of this new world. Then the other thing that you need is an online store. Of course, you have your web page, molanfi.com, but that web page needs a booking engine so people actually can buy. To that buying process, we have a third piece, a big piece of it is the buying process itself, putting the credit card, paying for that product. It is important to have a payment gateway. It is important. However, if you want to start with a booking engine and just try and check it out, once you have installed your booking engine, you can leave the payment gateway outside and you can put it afterwards. But those reservations will land on the Sabre side, on your queues in Sabre, and you can still manage those manually in order to create a ticket or finish the whole process of booking the hotel and do the whole process of the transaction of buying the product offline. When you see a lot of the volume coming up, maybe it's a good time to add a gateway, a payment gateway, so people can put the credit card there and they can pay for that product that you're selling today. Those are kind of the three main components that you'll see when you're moving from a marketing concept of having a web page and telling everybody I'm here on the internet and going to a store, an online store that you can actually purchase something. So looking at this diagram, this is how it flows. Look at from the bottom up, check the arrow that I have over there. These are four main components that you have to have in your website. First, of course, the website. And based on your strategy, the website can be focused on corporate business or maybe I'm just going to focus on leisure. I'm going to focus on air, domestic. I'm just going to focus it on hotels. Whatever you focus on, you have an entry aspect, an entry page. Like I said before, molanfi.com. I land on that page and I'm ready to buy. When you are checking with those third-party provider, something important that they have to have in order for you to say this is a good product for me is a rule engine. A rule engine will take all these commercial aspects that you manage on a daily basis, markups, commissions, service fees, all those little commercial strategies that you have around your products should be on a rule engine. So the system start making those decisions for you. An easy one that I can think about at this moment, if you have a package that you're selling, but the package expires in July 31st, the system, the rule engine should be able to take that package out of your web page so nobody buys it because it has expired, you know? Instead of having a human taking care of it, the system should be doing. That will be a rule inside your engine. Going down, then there's that connection piece of it. I'm going to be connecting to the fourth piece of this flow, which is where I'm getting the inventories of the products that I want to sell. You have inventories like Sabre. Sabre will give you the air piece, and it can actually give you the car, and it can actually give you the hotels. Other agencies already have a bed bank commercial agreement where these bed banks have all these type of hotels, and I can connect my web page to these bed banks in order to get different type of hotels. But you have this connector to make your product. So basically, when somebody lands in the booking engine and start looking for 25th of May from Curacao to Miami back to Curacao, the system will check the rule engine, what they're going to be applying in regard service fees. The system will go out there and check which products are available, and those products will be through that different database. In example, Sabre, which Sabre will be looking for that inventory, that itinerary, and that fare, and bring it back to your page and fill it out, you know, in that whole booking engine process. A summary, I have my web page, and I should have also a booking engine. So my web page becomes an online store because I'm able to buy something out of it. Okay, with that said, some of the commercial aspect that you have to consider if you decide to go through a third party provider or if you decide to do your own development. I'm going to focus on the third party first. My first invitation is I'm going to give you the link. Go check which partners we have in the region in Latin America. We have partners that are very focused on a specific countries. Other guys are regional, other guys are international, playing everywhere in the world. Just go check what is out there that will fit your strategy. That's the most important thing that will fit your strategy. Okay. Request not only one demo, request at least 4 demos from different third-party providers. Most probably, if you're new into this, you're gonna be learning a lot in the first demo. In the second demo, you're gonna have a lot of information to fill in, and then you're gonna be asking more questions on the third demo. And with the fourth demo of the different provider, you're gonna have an idea which provider will be a good fit for you. Understand not only what the booking engine they have does, but actually if they have a rule engine and what other perks around do they have? Is this going to be easy to connect to a payment gateway? Do they have already payment gateways as part of the booking engine flow? And then understand the cost. A lot of them have implementation costs, and those implementation costs will give you some training. Others, if you don't have a page, we'll actually create the entire product for you. We'll create the page, we'll add the content management system, we'll add the booking engine and the rule engine, and all connected to Sabre. And that will have a cost, a monthly cost, a yearly cost, or by transaction. Some of these guys have, you know, if I'm able to convert your visits into a reservation, I want a piece of that on a commission basis. Maybe that's good to start, $5 per PNR, and you're starting and you're seeing 20 or 30 PNR. Well, that would be like a fee of 150, and instead of a fixed fee while you start. Check those things because you are starting. Maybe at a moment, having a fixed fee of 1,500 per month is going to be very good for you if you're moving more than 200 passengers through your website. So you have to check on those and make sure your numbers are matching up. Because the other things that you have to consider is the maintenance, you have to consider the hosting, and you have to consider the updated version that they have with Sabre. You want those guys to have the latest Sabre version, so you get the best of it, the greatest advantage of it. If they don't have the latest version, at least -1 or -2. If they're behind in our server versions, I suggest look for another provider, because you have to have the best all the time. And we at Sabre, we update our versions and we give access to everybody that have our Sabre web services. So they should be doing their piece of the work and making sure that their version is updated with our version. Okay, so that's the big complex piece of it, going through a third party provider. Your own development is a little bit different. My first invitation will be, check out this and subscribe to the developer.sabre.com page, where you'll have the entire guidelines and the entire set of APIs that you can use. However, guys, this is a contract, so you have to contact your Sabre representative in order to check the different products that we have and the different pricing that we have. We have pricing over $3,000 and we have pricing over $5,000. Just make sure that those pricing meet your needs. The one that's above $5,000 normally includes all the support that you're going to be needing every time. You call, you send an email, is going to be part of that support level. The the one that Sabre Web Service is pricing above $3,000, it will give you access to the different web service as the $5,000. However, every time you call or you send an email, you're gonna be prompted to pay for that service. So maybe if you're just starting on your own development, the other one will make sense at the beginning, and then you will feel very comfortable in order to make a decision: should I keep this one or should I go to the $3,000 service? So those are two things to consider, but most importantly, you have to talk to your Sabre account manager, your Sabre representative, in order to sign a contract. That means now you have the APIs. Still, you need a development team. You can actually check developers inside those third-party link that I'm going to give you. You can have your own developer in-house. You can uh, have developers outside your business that they will focus on creating this booking engine. And in your own development, that will be your booking engine. Cautious here. It says on development. That license is for you. If you decided I'm gonna create this and then is I see it's working very well, I want to sell it, you cannot do that. You have to buy another type of license for distribution, because you're gonna distributing this product using our Sabre Web Services. So you're gonna become more of a third-party provider because you have created a booking engine and now you wanna resell it. So that's a different type of license. That's a license that the guys has customized by third-party providers buy and use. Okay, so this is the commercial aspect of it. This is how you get access to it. First of all, this is the page, partners.sabre.com/directory. Okay, once you are there, check on the left side, agency locations. If your agency, of course, is in Latin America. And then at this moment, what we're looking for are online booking tools, because we want to do that booking engine. That's specifically where the focus of this conversation is today. However, you can see all the different type of product that these third-party providers provide for the industry, and make sure, check it out. If you're in the need for all other products, most probably you'll find it here. You can find developers, ad hoc developers, that you need a specific development of a specific areas of your API that you currently have. You can check them out there also. Once you are there, Latin American online booking tool, because we want to create that booking engine, or we want that booking engine. The product offering, you keep on looking, is an online booking tool, and just make sure that you select Latin America in order for all those providers that participate here are going to be in your screen. We, as Sabre, has different tiers of partners, And this is really cool, guys, because every time these partners list is growing, and we're able to differentiate the value that these partners bring to the table. And we have given them some medals because it's Olympic month, you know, silver's gold and the best of all, platinum. Just check it out here on the screen. What do they mean? You know, some of this maybe, you know, developers showcase. We're gonna partner with them to participate if they are a platinum partner. And technical consulting is part of the offering that they do. Things like that, you have to check it out to again if they meet your digital strategy and your strategy to going online. I'm not saying that a guy that has a booking engine and the silver will not work for you. You just check it out what's going on. This is more of what does these partners have in conjunction with Sabre and how much marketing and promotion they help us, we help them. That's kind of where we are with this table right here. I'm getting close to the end of my presentation today. But before I go, in regards to the development option, remember, you're gonna create a contract, so you have to contact your Sabre representative. You're gonna get access to the Sabre web services, but you gotta make a decision who's gonna create this booking engine flow. You're gonna give that web services to a third-party developer team, or you have your own developers in-house that can help you create that booking engine. So that's a difference here. However, you have to have a page so they can connect. If you already had the hosting and the CMS, well, this process is gonna be easier. If you don't have none of those, you actually, you know, have to find your domain, molanfi.com. You have to host it. You have to create a page. You have to have a content management system. And once you have all that, you can connect your booking engine using the Sabre Web Services in order to create that flow, in order to become an online store. With that said, again, the most important piece of all the information actually is not the technical piece. For me, it's creating your own strategy. What do I want to do, and how do I gonna make people come to my page and buy? How I'm gonna create traffic? I think this is the most important during this meeting. Creating the traffic so the booking engine actually works. Define the booking engine. Make sure that you understand where you want to go in the future. Do I have a rules engine? Maybe I don't have a lot of commercial rules at this moment. Maybe I just want people to get into my page and buy something. But in the future, you're gonna be making different commercial decisions, and that the system will be part of executing these decisions. So maybe at this moment, it's really important to have a booking engine, a rule engine that will help your booking engine process out all that flow. The technical requirements, make sure you understand when you are contacting that third-party providers, what does implementation cover, how do they charge on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, per transaction, what upgrades are you expecting, how far are the new versions, the Sabre versions that they're using from the current Sabre versions. These are things that you have to consider while building your strategy and moving to the execution piece of it on the technical aspect, okay? With that said, I'm open for any questions. If there are questions on the chat or you guys want to ask directly, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Ian, for the presentation, for a very complete presentation that perfectly complements the presentation number one. We will share through the chat the link to the OTA's Part 1 meeting, as we said at the beginning, that was held a couple of weeks ago, and that is a perfect introduction for all the contents that Ian Molanfi shared today. So we will share it there in the chat. So far, I haven't seen any questions in here, but we would like to mention as well that there are other contents that we have already published in our YouTube channel that are directly related to these topics that we have tackled today and in the previous session. One of the things that Ian has emphasized a lot has to do with one of the options that you have to start working on your own development, and that has to do with the Sabre Web Services for travel agencies. And we have a webinar that you might find useful regarding that. I will paste the link there in the chat window. That is a session that was held some time ago, but the contents are still valid, so you can review that if that is one of the options that you are going to choose in order to start your online travel agency work. Okay, and another thing that is really important that Ian also mentioned in today's presentation, but emphasized more in the previous one in the introduction that we were saying, has to do with how to deal with the digital ecosystem. What is everything that you need to take into account to create a good marketing strategy and start working in that environment. We also have available one session that was held regarding that topic, and from there you can get a hint of which are the main things that you need to consider in order to develop the best marketing strategy in that sense. So we will share also that link. As I was saying, Ian, we haven't received any questions, and I'm sure that that happens because our customers are really paying attention to everything that we are sharing. But of course, as usual, you know that we will have this recording available later in our YouTube channel, and also we will share this compilation Ian shared with us today, so you can review it at any time. And of course, as he mentioned as well, you can always check with your Sabre representative if you have further questions regarding on how to start walking within this universe.
Carolina, thank you very much for the links. I have also shared the customer satisfaction survey through the chat, so everyone can share your comments or your ideas for future webinars that we always take into consideration. So with this being said, we would like to thank you all for your time and participation today in the webinar Online Travel Agencies Part 2. We really hope that the information shared has been useful and added value to your business. Please let us remind you that within the next 24 hours, we will send you supporting materials via email, including the PowerPoint presentation and the recording of the session, so you can revisit it or share it with your colleagues that could not make it to the event.
Thank you very much, Leandro. And also we have shared, as Leandro mentioned, the customer satisfaction survey link for this meeting. And as you know, it is very important for us that you complete it, as well as provide your candid feedback about this initiative and let us know which topics you would like to see tackled in the future. Rest assured, as usual, that we will make all of our efforts to bring these topics of your interest in future agendas. Thank you once again, everyone, for your time, for your loyalty, for choosing us, and for spending your time here with us this morning. We really appreciate it. I also want to thank Ian Molanfi, OTA's manager for the region, for an amazing job in this cycle. Thank you very much also for your collaborations with us. Okay, so with that being said, it will be until the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you. To
you.
be or not to be. Bye.